Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we talk with the family of a Knott County man who was killed this past weekend in a logging accident. And we take you to Frankfort, where lawmakers, teenagers, and health leaders are meeting to address the uptick in e-cigarette use among Kentucky youth. Plus, in Johnson County, we share the story of one woman celebrating her 22nd birthday after her parents were told she would die as an infant.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. The time is 4:59 on January 14th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning on this Tuesday morning. And I wasn't expecting rain, but rain is coming down outside. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, I wasn't expecting it for some reason. So when I woke up and walked outside and I had to have my umbrella, I was like, ugh.
Did you not pay attention to me yesterday?
I mean, yeah, I did.
You got caught. You got caught. That's what it is. I did say rain would start overnight, and it is going this morning, and it's heavy in some spots, maybe even some rumbles of thunder. Let's take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you see a lot of color showing up this morning, indicating some heavier bands of rain, especially down toward I-75, parts of the Cumberland Valley. That's going to work its way to the north and east. So Kentucky River, Big Sandy, it'll be coming for you here in a little bit. Visibility is rough because of all that rain and some fog that's developing with it, so just be careful on the roads this morning. Outside WYMT, we've had a light shower here earlier and some light showers right now, but the heaviest bulk is still to our south. Temperatures are actually going up. Yes, this wild weather ride we're on continues. 59 right now, Monticello, 55 Williamsburg, but 48 here in Hazard and 43 up toward Ashland. The out the door forecast, you are going to see temperatures climb into the 60s this afternoon. 64 we should actually make it today because that surge of warm air already pushing in ahead of that cold front, which will affect us tomorrow night going into Thursday. And a big change is coming as we head toward the end of the weekend. I'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Madison.
Thank you, Brandon. Well, over the weekend, a 22-year-old boy lost his life in a logging accident. David Thomas, also known as Bub, was from Knott County. His family remembers him as someone who would help anybody. He was known in the community for his love of horses and never missing a trail ride in Knott County.
Now, I haven't heard one person ever say anything bad about Bub. He was just absolutely one of a kind, and we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him a lot. So.
Now, David Thomas's visitation is tonight and tomorrow at the Nelson Frazier Funeral Home from 6 to 10 p.m. His funeral is Thursday at 11 a.m. And later today, friends and family will join together to remember a grandmother and her grandchildren killed last week in a Bell County house fire. Visitation for Beulah Mullins, Sierra, Cynthia, and Sean Puzzi tonight beginning at 4. The funeral follows at 7, and all services will be held at Bell Central School Center. People can still make donations to Brooks and Durham Funeral Home to help cover the expenses. And Kentucky State Police are asking you to be on the lookout for a missing woman in Harlan County. Troopers say Shayna Newsome, pictured here, walked away from the Hope Center on Saturday. She was supposed to be at the facility under court order. They say she originally is from Louisa, and anyone who sees her is asked to call Kentucky State Police. And in Tennessee, officials with the Claiborne County Sheriff's Office are asking for the public's help in the search for a missing teenager. Deputies say 17-year-old Zion Keeley Nuiz went missing from Loy Road in Speedwell, Tennessee on Saturday. They have reason to believe she is in either Granger County, Tennessee, Barberville, or Middlesboro. She was last seen wearing gray sweatpants and a black shirt. The 17-year-old is 5'2", weighs 88 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information is asked to call the Claiborne County Sheriff's Office at 423-626-3385. And moving to Frankfort, lawmakers, teenagers, and health leaders are meeting to address the uptick in e-cigarette use by Kentucky youth at the Capitol later today. This comes after news of the state's first death potentially related to vaping on Friday. Ben Chandler with the Coalition for Smoke Free Tomorrow says the goal is to get folks fired up over what he calls the vaping epidemic. In 2020, he hopes to get more money allocated to the state public health department to help with prevention efforts. The coalition wants vaping products to be taxed too, and Chandler says part of the problem is many young users don't know the harmful side effects of the habit.
We have seen the number of of high schoolers who vape every day more than quadruple in the last 2 years.
Chandler says the same can be said for Kentucky middle schoolers. He says the coalition worked to get 94 school districts smoke-free in the last few months. And the Herald Leader reports that Kentucky is partnering with a nationwide texting service to fight teen vaping. The free service, This Is Quitting, began a partnership with the state's Department for Public Health back in December. It targets those between 13 and 24 and provides up to 9 weeks of supported coaching and texts. To enroll, text Kentucky to 88709. And doctors did not expect one young woman in Johnson County to live very long after she was born. However, Abigail Coleman is now 22 years old. She was diagnosed with osteogenesis imperfecta when she was born, and the disease makes her bones extremely brittle. Her mother, Sherry Coleman, says although some days are harder than others, she would not change anything.
She's just full of life, and that's the biggest thing. You know, so I let her be as independent as possible, and then I'm there to pick up, where she leaves off.
Abigail is 1 in 20,000, and she loves to take pictures and play on her computer. She and her family left yesterday for another procedure in Tennessee. In the southern Kentucky Marina is once again dealing with damage. Crews at Calling Bottom on Lake Cumberland are cleaning up after strong winds ripped off some boat slip roofs and upended part of the dock this weekend. Nearly 1 year ago, the lake reached historic heights and flooded the campground bathhouse. Then in May, a fire swept through the restaurant, store, and office. Owner Fred Piercy is keeping a positive attitude despite all the trouble.
During all the storms and the fire and everything we've had, no one has gotten hurt, been injured. So that in itself is a number one thing. We're very thankful for that.
Piercy estimates it will take about 1 week to repair or replace the losses, and that work will take place while crews continue to rebuild the store, restaurant, and office destroyed by the fire in May. The new building is scheduled to be open by May 1st, with a new restaurant open by 2021. Well, thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. In Louisville, the family of one teenager is confused and distressed after one photo on social media got their daughter expelled.
It'll be soggy for a lot of you this morning as you head out the door, so make sure you take the rain gear, but will the rain last all day? I'll have the answer in about 3 minutes.